So again, there's so much content out there, and job seekers, just like all of us, have to refine the content to make sense of it all. No doubt many of you have different publications, niche publications that you subscribe to and read that write in a business context or a personal context. You control what information you receive on a daily basis. The same is happening for job seekers, which again, it's making it difficult, more challenge for organisations to connect with those people. So they really are struggling to get their message out there. Again, it certainly is going to continue to be a challenge, but there is smarter ways to do it, as we've seen, and that's really by understanding the actual audience you're looking to connect with by targeting that message. And we are seeing there's not a lot of research actually on niche sites in the Australian job market. We do know though that as sort of Philip suggested, there's probably about 250 or more niche sites, and it depends what you also bundle into that definition of niche sites, which is sort of fairly loose. But per capita, we don't actually have a lot of niche sites in Australia. There's 10.7 million working Australians, and I guess if you sort of divvy up 250 between that, it's not a heck of a lot. But overseas, there's far more niche sites, and per capita, it's much higher. But we also are seeing research from overseas that, particularly for senior and specialist roles, that niche sites are offering the best return on investment, which certainly makes sense. If you're after a target of a particular person, you've got to go where they are. And that's, I guess the message, isn't it? Look at understanding the market, the people you're looking to target and their behaviours. I've got just some examples of these niche sites that are available, and some of the founders of these niche sites are here today. Government sites, and I think actually the government sites do a terrific job. I'm not sure if you agree or not, but I think they're very informative, very detailed, and their job sites generally do create a fairly good user experience. We've got mining jobs, we've got sites that are classified by profession level, salary, industry, expat, age, gender, religion. There's such a wide variety of classifications for niche job sites out there that, again, it just shows you how fragmented job seekers are, and just the multitude of communities that are out there and available for you to connect with them in. Again, just reinforcing the message that looking at the jobs that you're looking to fill, that as an advertiser you have to go where your target market is, rather than expecting them to find and come to you, which is what we've probably all been accustomed to for too long. The power certainly has shifted. We have to work hard to get their interest. In terms of executive job sites, I've chosen to do the executive job site as a case study purely because I'm the co-founder of an executive niche job site, so it's an area that I'm passionate about, and hopefully I know a little bit about what's happening in the executive job site space. We're seeing that obviously executive job sites are growing. There's a multitude of executive job sites around the world. There's executives on the web, there's Hong Kong executives, executive appointments, there's the ladders, executive crossing. There's just a myriad of executive job sites if you do a Google search that are out there and active and very successful. And we're seeing that they're very successful by some of the figures here, that 41% of executives view executive job sites as very important to their job search. And I think there's still that belief that executives and senior people and professionals aren't actively online perhaps as younger generations, which certainly isn't the case. They are there. I just had a sort of a little side story, but I think it just shows that we should dispel assumptions. A gentleman I met, he was an older guy, a member of a golf club, and he was recounting the story how the golf club used to spend quite a lot of money and time sending out newsletters to their members. Now their members were in their 60s, 70s and 80s, and they were looking at ways to cut costs. And over time, he suggested that they email this. So he had raised it at a number of committee meetings, and it was quite quickly quashed that these people wouldn't be on email. Well, they did send out a letter, and they found that 85% of those people had email. So these people in their 60s, 70s and 80s. So the assumption that that these people aren't online, that they don't know what they're doing and so on, is certainly changing quite rapidly. That the uptake by all generations has been very high. Actually, I think even in the US and UK, there's a lot of, just forgotten what it's called, but there's a lot of baby boomer sites, Boomjay, there's all these baby boomer sites that have jobs, all sorts of things happening. They're very active communities for retired and semi-retired people. So age has nothing to do with it. As you can see, 41% of executives view executive job sites as very important to their job search. This was actually based on a survey done by Harvey Nash in the US in 2007. The report was produced in 2008. And clearly they see the importance of executive job sites increasing in their job search. I think what's probably one of the most telling statistics, again we're looking at the US market rather than the Australian market, but that 24% of the CEOs over there secured their roles through job sites. Now we're probably not looking at the the top 100 type corporations, but it does show you that these people are in line. And then it breaks it down by senior VP, managing director was 23%, director of VP 26%, senior managers 24%, managers 28%. So they very much are actively online and looking. So whether or not you're looking to capture an executive or a web developer or a marketing manager or a graduate, clearly I guess the message is understanding your audience and their behaviours and where they are before you spend money and commit to advertising anywhere. And the beauty is that with online, you can track things. It is so cost effective. You can try multiple strategies in which to connect with these people. I don't think any job seeker should try one avenue to source employment, nor should an advertiser try only one avenue to advertise and connect with job seekers. But often we hear companies, they use one or two channels because that's what they're fixed and locked into, and they're not prepared to deviate from that. Yet then again, they complain they're not getting good people. And again, you've got to go where the people are. And I think businesses need to change their thinking around how they advertise and source people. In terms of six figures, we're probably a newer type site in that our model is, although we're a job site, it's more of a membership model, which is probably a bit different to traditional job sites, which, as we've seen, are classified. We've seen the print set lifted online, classified online, has gone offline, and it's a very transactional experience. It's a numbers, it's a volumes game.